It reads, solve the equation 5x plus 2 is equal to 2x plus 17. Let's first of all analyze the type of equation in this question. It is an equation because there is an equal sign, no doubt. Now the next thing is, it is a linear equation in one variable. Why? The variable we are talking about here is x. So at the left hand side or at the right hand side, it's still x. So just one variable, and the variable is x. Now the reason why it is linear is because the variable that we are talking about has a power of 1. Here the power is 1, and also at this side the power is 1. The power cannot be seen, or there is no power, and in maths any variable without the power means it's power 1. So this is the linear equation in one variable, which is x. We are supposed to solve this linear equation. That is to say, let the x stand alone, or find the values of the x. Here I can see x at the left hand side, I can see an x at the right hand side. So I would have to group all x to one side. In other words, group like terms. So let's group like terms. Now let me teach you a very easy and a simple or more understanding way to group like terms. First of all, bring your equal sign. So I bring the equal sign. Now identify all the terms that contains the x. I can see 5x and I can see 2x. Now you choose to group your like terms at the left hand side or at the right hand side. That one is your own choice, but I prefer to group my like terms at the left hand side. Now once I check from the left hand side, the terms there, I can see 5x which has x in it, so I maintain 5x, so it will be 5x. Then I will look for any other term which also has x, and when I look at the right hand side, I can see 2x also there, which is positive 2x. You have to transfer or transpose the positive 2x to this side to become negative 2x. This is what I mean. When I transfer it here, it's positive, so it will become minus or negative 2x. Then I have all the x's at the left hand side, so I have grouped like terms to the left hand side, and the like terms will be the x. The next terms will be the constant values or the whole numbers. I have 17 already at the right hand side, so I'll repeat it as 17, which is positive 17. Then I have positive 2, which is also a whole number or a constant at the left hand side, so I'll transfer it to the right hand side. Positive crossing the equal sign to this side will be negative 2. So this is how the like terms will look like. So you can also pause the video and take your time and group your like terms. We have realized that most of the students have problems in grouping like terms, especially when negative change to positive and so on. You realize that it is not difficult, but it needs a consistent rehearsal. So take your time and please rehearse with this video. Now let's continue. Now that we have 5x minus 2x, we have 5 of the x minus 2 of the x. It will become 3x. So 3x, which is equal to 17 minus 2 will give us 15. Now we have to then divide both sides by 3 to eliminate the 3 and make x the subject. What is the meaning? 3 is multiplied by x, of course, so 3 becomes the coefficient of x. We want x to stand alone, and since they are multiplied, we have to divide them to make x stand alone. So it will become 3x is equal to 15. Repeat it. Now divide here by 3. Divide here by 3. I divided both sides by 3 because the equal sign makes the left and the right hand side the same. So if I divide, this 3 will cancel itself 1, and still cancel this 3 1. That is to do away with the 3 or cancel out the 3. At the right hand side, 3 will cancel itself 1, and still cancel 15 5. So I will now write the remaining terms. I have x, so therefore x is equal to 5 over 1, which is 5. So the final answer for the x is 5. So after solving this equation well and following all the steps, you must get 5 as your answer. Thank you very much. This question reads, solve the equation 8y minus 4 is equal to 3y plus 11. This is an equation since there is an equal sign. And the specific equation is, it is a linear equation in one variable. A linear equation because the variable we are talking about is y, making it just one variable like y as one variable. And then the y's power is 1. So the power or the exponent of the y is 1. Since there is no power for y, we know in maths, a variable without the power is in power 1. So y power 1, y power 1. making this a linear equation in one variable. Now let's continue. We have 8y at the left hand side and then 3y at the right hand side. Since we are solving, we are supposed to make y stand alone or get the value of y. So we have to group like terms. Now, I told you before in the previous video that you can group like terms to the left hand side of the equal sign or to the right hand side of the equal sign. So this is my equal sign. I prefer to group all my like terms to the left hand side. Then when I look at the left hand side, already I have 8y, which contains y, at the left hand side. So I will maintain 8y. So that term contains y. Another term that contains y is 3y, which is at the right hand side. And it is a positive value right now, which is positive 3y. So when I transfer it across the equal sign to the left hand side, it will turn from positive to negative. So it will become minus or negative 3y. So I have now grouped all the y to the left hand side. Now let me group the constants or the real numbers to the right hand side. When I check the right hand side of the equal sign, I can find the real number or the constant 11. So I will maintain it as positive 11. So positive 11 plus 11 minus 4 at the left hand side of the equal sign will be transferred across the equal sign to the right hand side to become positive 4. Because minus 4 here crossing to become plus 4. Now simplify left and right. Simplify here. 8y minus 3y will give us 5y equal to 11 plus 4 will give us 15. So now I have to now find the value of y. Since 5y is multiplying, making 5 the coefficient, I will divide to separate them or cancel out the 5. So I'll divide here by 5 and still divide here by 5. The equal sign says whatever you do at the left hand side of the equation, do the same thing on the right hand side. So let me repeat this as 5y is equal to 15. Then I will divide here by 5. Divide here also by 5. So that 5 will cancel itself 1 and cancel this 5 1. So it has cancelled out from the left hand side, maintaining y. Now the right hand side, 5 will cancel itself 1 and still divide or cancel 15 at 3. So I'll simplify. Now the left hand side has only y. So therefore, y is equal to the right hand side has 3 divided by 1, which is still 3. So the value of y in this particular linear equation in one variable becomes 3. Thank you very much. Solve the equation. 3w minus 5 is equal to 5w plus 6. Let us analyze, as usual, the type of question here. This is an equation, as the question stated. Why? Because there is an equal sign. So don't forget, any mathematical statement or any mathematical question with an equal sign becomes an equation. Now this is a linear equation with one variable. Linear because the variable that we are talking about is w, and the variable's highest power is 1. So 3w here, since w has no power, it is regarded to be in power 1, as mathematics states. So here too, the 5w has no power. So here, w has no power. So the power of w is 1. That is why it is a linear equation, because the power of the variable in this equation has the highest form as 1. Now, in one variable, because the only variable that appears in this equation is w. So this is a linear equation in one variable. Now, to solve this equation, first of all, we need to locate the variable we are supposed to solve for, which is w. Now, I can see w at the left-hand side of the equal sign, and I can still see a w at the right-hand side of the equal sign. So this will have to allow me to group like terms. Now, in grouping like terms, I have advised you that bring your equal sign, then transfer all the variable terms to one side of the equal sign. So if you choose the right hand side of the equal sign or you choose the left hand side of the equal sign, you will get the same answer. I want to group all my variables to the right hand side of the equal sign. And when I check the right hand side of the equal sign, already I have 3w, which contains w. It is a term with w, so I'll repeat it. And remember, it is a positive, so it will still be repeated as 3w. Now, I go over to the right hand side and I find another w, which is 5w. So I'll have to repeat 5w. But watch this. I am transferring 5w to the left-hand side to become negative. Because at the right-hand side, 5w is positive 5w. When it crosses the equal sign to the left-hand side, it will become negative 5w. So this means that I have grouped all w's to the left-hand side. Now the constants or the real numbers must be grouped to the right-hand side. Now the right-hand side has positive 6 there already, so I'll repeat my positive 6. Still in positive 6, but I don't write the positive sign. Then I'll bring the negative 5, which is at the left-hand side, crossing to the right-hand side to become positive. So negative cross the equal sign to the right-hand side to become positive 5. Now this is how the like terms will be. Let us go ahead and simplify. Now 3w minus 5w will give me minus 2w. So you can take your time and analyze it well. 3 minus 5 is minus 2, so it is a w. So that is why I have still w in place. Now equal to 6 plus 5 becomes 11. Now I would have to make w the subject by dividing both sides by negative 2. The equal sign says whatever you do here, you do the same thing at the side of the equal sign. Since negative 2 is a coefficient, I would have to divide to break the multiplication. They are multiplying, so I divide to make sure they separate. So I'll say minus 2w is equal to 11. Repeating and dividing here by minus 2. Divide here 2 by minus 2. The minus will cancel minus and 2 will cancel 2. That'll give us 1 there times w. So w will be maintained. Now we come here, 11 divided by minus 2. We can conclude that therefore w at this side is equal to minus 11 over 2. This is how it will be. Even though the negative is affecting the 2, but in a fraction, whether the negative is affecting the denominator or the numerator, it still stands the same. This is what I mean. If you write negative 11 divided by 2, it is still the same as or 11 divided by negative 2. And these two forms what we call negative of the 11 over 2. So don't forget that this and that are still the same. So that is why I maintain my answer this way. You can also convert your answer into a mixed fraction. This is improper fraction. So the mixed fraction of this will be or negative 5 whole number 1 over 2. Why? Because 2 will go into 11 5 times. Or 2 will go into negative 11 negative 5 times. Remember 1 over 2. And then still you can convert it into a decimal. So w can still be or negative 5.5 will be the decimal. So this will be your answer. Either negative 11 over 2 or negative 5 whole number 1 over 2 or negative 5.5. That is the answer for this particular equation. Thank you very much. Then it reads, solve the equation minus r or negative r plus 24 is equal to minus 3r minus 20. And we check, this is a linear equation which contains one variable. Don't forget that as usual, an equation is any mathematical question with the equal sign. Then one variable means that the variable that we can see throughout, or the alphabet that we can see throughout, is r. And here we have 3r. So the unknown has been confirmed to be r. So then one variable. Then it is a linear equation because when you check the variable's power, it will be 1. And the variable's power here will be 1. Any variable or any number in mathematics without a power is considered to be a power of 1. So this is a linear equation in one variable. Now we are supposed to solve. Solving a linear equation means that making that variable stand alone or getting the value of that variable. We need to start by grouping like terms. If we check, we have the mixture of real numbers or constants and then the variable r. We have to group all r to one side. That is to say, we group r to the left-hand side. I'll choose the left-hand side. Then you group the constant numbers or the real numbers to the right-hand side. This is how we do it. Bring your equal sign. Already at the left-hand side, we have minus r. So minus r already at the left-hand side. I have another minus 3r at the right-hand side that I'll transfer minus 3r to the left-hand side. Because it is minus here, when I transfer it to the left-hand side, it will become plus. So plus 3r, that is positive 3r. So any number that is transferred to another side of the equal sign would have to change its operational sign. If you check, negative 3r is a term or a number at the right hand side. It was transferred or it has been transferred to the left hand side. So once it got to the left hand side, it became positive 3r. So please take note of that. That any number or any term that is transferred to another part of the equal sign must change its operational sign. Now let's continue. All the terms containing R, which are the like terms, are at the left hand side. Now we have to come to the right hand side and put all the constants also there. Already the constant minus 20 is at the right hand side. So let's repeat negative 20. Then I have positive 24 at the left hand side. I'll transfer positive 24 to the right hand side to become negative 24. The sign will change when the transfer is done. Good. Now let's simplify. Now negative or minus R plus 3R will give us positive 2R. That is to say, I have negative 1R. Then I'm going to give positive of the 3R. The negative will be cancelled and I'll still be left with 2. That is the meaning. So it will be equal to, now, negative of 20 and another negative of 24 will give us minus or negative of 44. It will come together to still form an answer of negative. Now we have to divide both sides by 2 because we want R to stand alone to be solved. So it will become 2R is equal to 44 in the negative sense. So divide here by 2. Divide here by 2. Now this 2 will cancel itself 1 and still cancel this 2, remaining with R. So we can conclude that therefore R is equal to, now negative 44 divided by 2 on calculator, or if you calculate it, you realize that you come and get negative 22. So the value of R finally will be negative 22. Thank you very much. The question reads, solve the equation 3 into bracket x minus 2 is equal to x plus 8. In this question, please try your best and analyze it first of all. From this, we realize that it is an equation. There is an equal sign, so the entire expression is an equation. It is a linear equation because the variable here is x and then the exponent or the power of this variable is 1. In a case whereby a variable has no exponent, it means the exponent is 1. So x without an exponent here is exponent 1. And this x without an exponent is exponent 1. Don't forget that this is in one variable because the only variable that we can find in this equation is x. So it makes it linear equation in one variable. Now we have to go ahead and solve this particular linear equation. There is a bracket. We first of all have to expand to remove the bracket. So 3 will multiply x and at the same time 3 will multiply negative 2. So let's do that. So 3 times x will give us 3x. Then 3 times minus 2 will give us minus 6. Is equal to x plus 8. So this is what we get. Now we have to group like terms since we have a mixture of x variables and then the real numbers like minus 6 and 8 or constant numbers. So I would prefer to group all my variables to one side, which is the left hand side. If you also put yours at the right hand side, you are still going to get the same answer. So we have 3x standing already at the left hand side. Now coming to the left hand side from the right hand side is what we call x. So x here is positive or plus x. When it moves to the left hand side, it becomes minus x. Good. So now x has left the right hand side. It's left with 8. 8 is a constant number. So let me repeat the positive 8. Then the minus 6 is also a constant or a real number. It will move to the right hand side. And then the minus moves across the equal sign to become plus. So it becomes plus 6. Now simplify. 3x minus just 1x or minus x will be 2x. So we have 2x here. It's equal to 8 plus 6 to give me 14. So I have 14. Now I'll divide both sides by 2. 2x is equal to 14. Since 2 and x are multiplying because 2 is a coefficient of x or 2 is the number directly in front of the x, it means they are multiplying. So I have to divide here by the 2, and because of the equal sign, I'll still divide here 2 by 2 so that 2 will cancel this 2, remaining with x. Then equal to 14 divided by 2 is 7. So then my final answer for this particular equation is 7, meaning the value of x is 7. Thank you very much. Solve the equation 2 into bracket y plus 11 plus 3y is equal to 42. This is a linear equation. An equation since we have an equal sign, and linear since the y is the variable, this y is also a variable. The variable's power is 1. No power means power 1 in mathematics. Yet there is no power meaning power 1. The fact that the variables in this question stays at power 1 or the variable have no power means that it is a linear equation. And also we have a single variable, that is to say y. Y is found at the left hand side, y is found at the right hand side. So this is a linear equation with one variable called y. So that is why we have linear equation with one variable. Now let's continue to solve. we need to first of all expand to remove the bracket at the left hand side. So 2 will multiply y to give us 2y. Then 2 multiply 11 to give us 22, so plus 22. Then plus 3y, which is also another 10, now equal to 42. We then have to group all y at one side, or all terms containing the variable y at one side, and then the constant numbers or the real values also at one side. I would prefer to group all the terms containing y at the left hand side. Now checking from the left hand side, I have already 2y, which contains y. I also have positive 3y, that is plus 3y, which contains y. So I've grouped all y to one side. Now from the right hand side, I have the constant 42, which is a real number, and I have the real number or the constant 22. Positive moving from left to the right hand side. Across the equal sign becomes negative. So positive 22 here becomes negative 22. Remember, only if it crosses the equal sign, the sign must change. Now we have to simplify. 2y plus 3y is giving me 5y, which is equal to 42 minus 22 is going to give me 20. And we continue to make y the subject by dividing both sides by 5. Since the coefficient is 5, 5y here has a coefficient of 5, is equal to 20. We will divide because they are multiplying. So we divide here by 5. We divide here 2 by 5. We divided both sides since the equal sign says so. Now we cancel here and we cancel it. 5 goes into itself 1, 5 goes here 1, remaining with y. Then coming to the right hand side, 20 divided by 5 is 4. So we end up getting y as 4. So the value of y from this equation is 4. And that is our final answer. Thank you very much. Solve the equation 3 into bracket 2m minus 1 plus 4 is equal to 5 into bracket m plus 4 plus 2. Checking from this particular question, we realize that it is an equation. The reason is the equal sign. Any question in math which has an equal sign becomes an equation. Now this is a linear equation because when we indicate the variable m, you realize that the variable m indicated here has a power of 1, which is to say no power. And in maths, no power means power 1. At the right hand side, there is still an m. The m has a power of 1 because it has no power. Because the variables in the question are maintained at power 1 and that their highest power is 1, it becomes linear. Now, in the one variable means the only variable found in the question is m. Left hand side is m, right hand side is m. So this is a linear equation in one variable. Now, how do we solve such an equation? We need to first of all expand to remove the bracket so that the variable m, where we are supposed to find the value under this solution, will be free. So we expand the left hand side. Still there is a right hand side bracket. We have to expand. So 3 times 2m will give us 6m. Then we come to 3 times minus 1 will give us minus 3. The positive 4 is away from the bracket, so we repeat it. Now equal to 5 is directly attached to the bracket, so 5 times m is 5m. Then we have 5 times positive 4 becomes 20. Now plus 2 is away from the bracket, so it becomes plus 2. It has nothing to do with the bracket since the positive sign keeps it away from the bracket. Now we have to simplify it by first of all grouping like terms. We have a mixture of variables of m and then constant numbers or real numbers. Now how to group all m's to the left hand side. If you also group it to the right hand side of the equal sign, you will still be correct. So let me bring the equal sign, keep it in place, and group all m's to one side. So I have 6m, which is already at the left hand side. Then I have 5m at the right hand side of the equal sign. It is a positive 5m. So when it crosses the equal sign to the left hand side, it becomes minus or negative 5m. Now all the m's are at the left hand side. We come to the right hand side, then we group the constants or the real numbers to the right hand side. Checking from the right hand side, I have 20 as positive 20 and then positive 2 already at the right hand side. So I maintain them still here. Then I'll move the constant numbers which are minus 3 and positive 4 to the right hand side. So minus 3 moves to become positive after crossing the equal sign. Then positive 4 also moves to become minus 4 after crossing the equal sign. Don't forget that here, if you want to simplify before moving or grouping like them, it is also allowed. At the end of the day, you get the same answer. Now let's simplify. 6m minus 5m will give me m, which is equal to now 20 plus 2 will give us 22. plus 3 will give us 25. Now minus 4 will give us 21. So we get 21. Since the coefficient of m is 1 and m stands alone, now the value of m is 21. It means that at the end of the day, we solve for m. So therefore, m is 21. So the value of m in this equation is 21. Thank you very much. Solve the equation 4 into bracket v plus 0.5 is equal to 7v plus 1.5. Let us also analyze this question. We have an equal sign, so that qualifies this question to be an equation. Also, the variable at the left-hand side are the same. So variable v means it is in one variable. Now the equation is linear because that one variable has no power, meaning the power of the variable is 1. At the left-hand side, v is power 1. And at the right-hand side, v is power 1, meaning no power. And remember, any number or any variable without a power is power 1. And the fact that an equation contains a variable which has a power of 1 makes it a linear equation. So we have a linear equation. To solve this means we have to get the value of the variable v. We first of all have to expand the bracket and group all v to one side to make v the subject. This is what I mean. 4 times v will be 4v. Then 4 times 0.5 will be 2. 0.5 is also referred to as half, but leave it in the decimal nature. So 2 is equal to 7v plus 1.5. Now we have to group all the constant numbers to one side. Group all variables to one side. So the variable v will be at the left hand side as usual, but you can also bring yours to the right hand side. The same thing, we'll get the same answer. So I bring my 4v, which is already at the left hand side. Then the 7v is at the right hand side and it is a positive. When it crosses the equal sign to the left hand side, the positive sign will now change to negative. So it becomes negative 7v. I have my 1.5, which is positive. So I'll bring 1.5, which is still positive. Then I'll look for the other constant number or real number, which is 2. So positive 2 crosses to the right hand side to be minus 2. Now let's simplify. 4v minus 7v will give me minus 3v. Then it will be equal to 1.5 minus 2 will give me minus 0.5, which is also referred to as minus half. Leave it in a decimal form because I prefer to solve it in a decimal form, even though negative 0.5 means negative half. But still, let's solve it in the decimal. Now let's get the value of v. We have minus 3v is equal to minus 0.5. We divide here by minus 3 since that is a coefficient of the v, so that v can be alone. We go ahead and cancel the negative with the negative, so negative neutralize each other. Now 3 will cancel down here 1, 3 will go here, so remaining with v. Now over here we have minus 0.5 divided by minus 3. Of course the negatives will neutralize. Then 0.5 itself divided by 3 should give you 0.166667. It continues that way. So you can conclude and say therefore v is equal to 0.167 by rounding it up. Don't forget that it will be 1 divided by 6. The fraction will be 1 over 6. But I don't need a fraction. You can also leave it in the fraction form. So you can say or v is equal to 1 divided by 6, which is also correct. I prefer to leave it in decimal because the question started with decimal. So if my answer is in decimal form, it's correct. Whoever wants to leave it also in fraction is correct. So at the end of the day, the value of v in the equation is 0.167 or 1 over 6 as a final answer. So the equation has been solved for. Thank you very much.